Hey, there we go. Hey, gang. I was wanting to kind of shoot this video, the story video, from the location of where all this took place at, but as you can tell, it's too dark. I tried to get the light on my phone to shine on the place, but unfortunately, I guess if I want to do it, I have to get very close to the place, and, well, it's not a house anymore, it's a lawyer's office. And I kind of doubt anybody's there, because it's, after 6:30 or something like that. And, so I'm going to tell you this little story video, and something tells me that the one guy standing behind me might interrupt me every once in a while to tell me certain parts that I get wrong. So yeah, and hopefully every once in a while I get some nice shots, some stuff here, so you guys aren't sitting there kind of going like, look, we don't want to look at darkness, okay? So yeah. So anyway, so this was, oh my God, what year was this? About 8, 9, 10 years ago, something like that. It's another WC story, so yeah. I was living with Tyler at the time, my buddy Tyler 2071 on YouTube, if you guys want to go check out his channel. And what happened was that we would every once in a while go to the house is now a lawyer's office, and we go up there and see everybody that lived there. And no joke, there had to have been at least a couple of times there was at least a dozen people living there. But we would go up there and visit our friends, Chris and his sister Carol, and their mom, whose name's Scar, and she's one of the most, interesting people you ever want to meet in your life. And their dad, or their grandpa, was a really super cool guy. It was still a shame when I heard he passed away, and I was like, dang, really? Why they always take the good ones? So it's one of those days where Tyler and I are going to come up here to hang out because we're bored. and WC is living there at the time. And what happened was, we go there, and the house is pretty silent. So we're kind of like, uh-oh, did we come at a bad time? So we're asking questions like, guys, what's going on? And that's when they told us that that WC went to finally go tell his girlfriend's parents that he is the father of her child. Now, you may sit there and kind of go like, well, that's not such a bad thing, but when you consider that WC was at the time, 32, something like that, and she was only 17, yeah. Now, some people have argued this point. They sit there and say, well, 16 or 17 is the age of consent. Look, if you're 17 years old and your boyfriend's in his early to mid-30s, there's something kind of wrong there. And the worst part about it was that they had somehow kept it a secret from her parents for some time. So he goes over there, tells the parents about it, and we're all just sitting in the front room, hanging out, goofing off, having a good old time, and he finally pops to the door, and let me tell you something. He looked white as a sheet. He looked like somebody had just taken his soul and just pulled it right out of him. He looked like he had nothing. He kind of had this whole thing of just like, it's almost like, telling a kid that there is no Santa Claus. He had that kind of look on his face, And so what happened was that, he comes in, and again, the whole house goes silent. Nobody says anything for a couple of minutes, and I'm like, okay, I'm just going to go ahead and ask. And, goofily, I just asked, so how did it go? He looks at all of us and he goes, I never should have went over there. And we're all like, duh! And we're just like, dude, you went to tell a 17-year-old girl's parents that you are the father of a... And it's like, dude, you already have 3 kids and an ex-wife that you're still owing alimony payments to. And he said, oh my God, they drilled me. They said, how are you going to support this kid? How are you going to take care of Kara and all this other stuff? And he's like, I didn't know how to answer them. I'm going, any smart, intelligent person would have the answers. Anybody with half a brain would sit there and go, yeah, I'm going to do this, 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 this. So the whole time Tyler and I are there, he does not emote much. And even when he did, he was terrible at it. He just sat there in the chair, and it just the whole time he didn't do his annoying laugh. He didn't do anything. He just looked pale, and it was just kind of weird. And then Tyler and I were like, maybe we should go. Yeah, let's go. And it was frightening. It was kind of scary to see that. So to kind of give you guys an idea of what happened afterwards, they were still together for a few months, and then WC started accusing Kara of constantly looking over his shoulder when he was doing things on the computer, which he later on confessed that, he said, well, she was looking over my shoulder to see if I was talking to other women. I said, well, were you? He says, well, yeah. Well, there you go, stupid. And then here's what really makes him a scumbag. The kid comes into the world, and he denies having anything to do with the child. He says, that's not my kid. It's like, well, who else did she sleep with? So, and I think to this day he still denies the kid is his. So sometime after WC disappeared for the umpteenth time, and one of these days I'm going to tell you guys a story of the last time WC was in town, and it's a wrestling related story, and hopefully I can get to that location, do that story for you guys sometime. So, like I said, WC just disappears out of town for the umpteenth time. And I'm talking to Kara one night. We're just, I saw her somewhere in town. And I'm like, how's life? How's things? We talked to WC, and she goes, no, I haven't talked to him and all this other stuff. So how's your kid? The kid's doing good. And I said, listen, I don't want to get too personal, but if you want to answer, cool. If you don't have to. I said, but I've talked to a lot of WC's ex-girlfriends, and they all give me the same answer. So I have to ask you, what was it like being with him intimately? She goes, I faked it every time. I was like, wow. She said, except for once. I said, oh, okay. She goes, that's when I found out I was pregnant. All I could say was, burn! I was like, sickest burn on WC ever. That was a burn. So, yeah. So he eventually came back town. I think he went into hiding for a little while. He joined up with a little small-time wrestling promotion I was with. And like I said, I'm gonna get to probably the final WC story. And like I said, ever since this happened, he hasn't been back in town since. We'll get to that one of these days. But again, I just want to give you guys a little story video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And of course, if you like my videos, always feel free to subscribe. And again, I'm sorry I couldn't get a shot of the house where all this happened at, but like it's down there somewhere, so I'm sorry you can't see it. But hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching, everybody. And I'm sorry Tyler couldn't say anything in the video. he's just trying not to laugh. But I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching, everybody, and until next time, when the next video will be the Royal Rumble results and all that. Till next time, as always, stay strong and rock on.